I might introduce you to our next lecturer.
Merciless.
Professor Dr. Sunil Wang is from the College of Buddhist Studies and Dean of the College of Buddhism at Dongguk University in Seoul, South Korea. His main field of research is the doctrinal history of early Buddhism and Buddhist culture in South and Southeast Asia. To the second part definitely belongs the question of Buddhism and ecology. He finished high school in Busan, that's the very spicy way of food in Korea. And then he was at the Department of Indian Philosophy at the Dongguk University, graduate school until '95, and did an MA in early Indian Buddhism and his PhD in Oxford University. I'm very much looking forward to learn from you. I remember being in the Buddhist Society for Eco-Buddhism in Seoul for a while and see what developed out of that. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much for very kind and generous introduction. My name is Sunil Wang, and I'm a Dean, College of Buddhism in Dongguk University. In South Korea, we have around 15% of population Buddhist, and among those Buddhists, 80% of population belongs to Joge order. And Dongguk University was founded by a pioneering member of Joge order in 1905 or something like that, just before we become occupied by Japan. Dongguk University became one of the comprehensive education center in the heart of the Seoul. So if you visit Seoul, you should let me know, because Dongguk University is at the heart of the Seoul, in the center. So from there you can explore the city very easily.
Would you say it's the soul of Seoul?
Soul of Seoul is Seoul. I do teach Sanskrit and Pali in the College of Buddhism, and my main area to study is early Indian Buddhism. And now I expand my interest to the Southeast Asian Buddhism, because Pali is the language of early Buddhist canon. That canon was mainly used by Buddhists in Southeast Asia, which means Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, or some part of Indonesia. They do a Pali canon. So Pali and Southeast Asian culture is my main area to study. So Buddhism and ecology a bit, apart from my, general interest. But Martin asked me to do, so I did my best. So ecology in Greek word oikos means home or something like that. So think of our environment as well as a human being as a member of a home. So we are all living together. Maybe that's the idea of ecology. So ecology, the study of relationship among living organisms, including humans, and their physical environment. And Buddhists has shown their deep concern on ecological issues. And in the contemporary world, Buddhists are often some of the most active and engaged environmentalists in the religion in the world, actually. Very, very strong movement, actually. I will show you two cases at the end of the lecture. Simple Buddhist concept relating to ecological issue could be a Buddhist precept of non-killing, not destroying the life. In India, this term usually equated with not killing any animals, especially according to the Buddhist text. In the early Buddhist text, Brahmanism using a knife of sheep usually, or cow, the blood for the sacrifice, and the Buddha condemning that. That's the useless killing, not involved in getting fruitful results, something like that. So that's the one of the term we can talk about ecology. And the other two is linking together, metta, karuna. In the Western world, we usually say compassion, metta and karuna, but actually this is consist of two words. And metta means loving kindness. So someone become very happy, you should become happy too. If you develop that kind of mind, you are being with metta. Karuna is the opposite. If someone become very sad, you also feel very sad. So if you develop the mind, when other people become very sad, you develop the mind that you become sad, then you have a karuna inside of you. So this metta and karuna is very difficult term, not easy, because you can easily develop metta and karuna to person you love, to the person you like, your friend, your parents. That's very easy, but not easy to develop this kind of mind. For me, for example, for the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, not easy to do that. But the ideals for the Buddhism is to develop this kind of mind, including all the living creatures, all the living beings, including insects or anything which has a feeling. We should develop this kind of concept. But this is a simple word, but I'm not going to talk about this because I'd like to talk about more on the doctrinal side of the Buddhism. In the doctrinal side of Buddhism, Buddhist has got one principle which often translated into English as a dependent origination. Here in Sanskrit word, pratitya samutpada, or Pali, paticca samuppada, which actually show the state of interconnectedness among all living creatures we are living in the world. So Buddhist dependent origination demonstrates that their ecological concerns are the outcome of their doctrinal as well as philosophical thought. So nowadays, when we talk about ecology, many Buddhist leaders talk about interconnectedness of all living creatures, including the human beings nowadays. So how is it work? According to Buddhism, you need to understand the concept of samsara, which means you are reborn again and again and again. So this life is just a tiny part of endless life. You are going to live again and again and again. So according to Buddhism, we have a circle of existence in 6 realms. We have a hell and hungry ghost and animal, human and asuras and heavenly beings. So all those things, humans, sometimes if we did something very bad, going down to animal. From the animal we did very bad, hungry ghost. We are doing well and going up there. So there is no actual clear-cut boundary in between them. So the animals and humans are the same kind, so to speak. So if you go to Nepal, Lumbini, there is a very nice German Tibetan Buddhist temple, belongs to Gerak, sect. They have a very nice hill of life, hill of life, where they explain those 6 realms. Here you can see, this is a hell, every living creature suffer, and this is the animals, and this is the area of hungry ghost. Area of hungry ghost, not easy to understand, but I like this Korean painting. You can see here, 2 hungry ghosts. They have a very big belly and very big mouth, but their neck is very tiny. So even though they eat all day long, they still suffer because they never be satisfied. So that's the hungry ghost. If you are living in the world with eating again and again and again too much, and when you die, you will become like that, according to Buddhism, and suffer again and again and again. Upper side of the realm, we have human world, we have asuras and the heavenly beings. And asura is an Indian concept. It doesn't mean some kind of evil. It means, the god not belongs to the good side, the bad side, or something like that. So according to Tibetan interpretation, those are the gods who only think about fighting, fighting each other. So fighting would be the only one they do. So you can see here the good god and bad god fighting each other. So that's the one. So in this sixth realm, according to Buddhism, we humans are wandering around. So all are, even the God, according to Buddhism, are the same kind, same species. Even the God, when they consume all their merit, coming down to humans, or can go down to the hell as well. So humans are neither a special creation by God, nor being given either dominion or stewardship over animals. They are the same, according to Buddhism. Humans wander in the limited, conditioned realm of samsara, the round of rebirth. Being born as a human is very, very rare and precious. So according to Buddhism, being born as a human, we get a good chance because we have an understanding, we have a feeling, we have a will or free will or intention to become better person, so that we can pursue our own awakening, or in Buddhist term, our own, how can I say, rightly correct understanding we can achieve it. Sammasambuddha, we usually call it. Human can enjoy great freedom and capacity of deep understanding so that they can pursue spiritual progress towards the enlightenment. So according to the Indian Buddhist, humans are better positioned than God, because God are living in the world where there is no suffering. So they just enjoy. So no real chance for the God to become enlightened. But in the human world, we realize, the good, happy result as well as unhappy result. We understand, we feel every kind of emotion, so that we are better chance to have a spiritual, progress according to the Buddhism. So all sentient beings are born again and again, according to Buddhism. Their fate are determined not by chance, but by principle of dependent origination. Pratitya Samutpada. I'm going to talk about it today. So here in this room, we all met together. We all encounter. According to Buddhism, we encounter here not by chance. We encounter here because we have so many causes and conditions in our past life, endless number of causes and conditions, so that we are meeting together here in the room. So, Buddhists usually value very high on those kind of cause and conditions. So we try our best if we are encountered together, no matter what their religion, no matter what their condition, no matter what their status. So Pratitya Samutpada, usually translated into English as a dependent origination. Pratitya is adverbial, and the prati means against, and the e is going. So Pratitya means going against. So if you go to somewhere, but something is coming down, it is kind of a condition. So Pratitya can be translated as having depended or conditions, kind of condition through which we should go to somewhere. And Samutpada, sam means together, ut means going up, and pada means down. So in Indian concept, something to be created, it should go up and down, something like that. So Samutpada is production, arising, and origin. So the translation could be dependent origination. Is the most common term, and dependent arising or interdependent co-arising, conditioned arising, and conditioned genesis. Many words actually apply, but we never satisfied any of these English words, so not easy. And some of the synonym for the dependent origination could be Dhamma Nityata or Dhamma Tatata. Dhamma Nitya. The ta at the end of this term is kind of making the word in some kind of status. The state of being is ta. Nitya is eternal, and Dhamma is principle. The dependent origination is principle. The state of being eternal as a principle. So dependent origination is working, in every aspect of our life to determine our future, something like that. Dhamma ta, state of being such principle. Tata is something we cannot explain, but there is something there. Ta means state of being suchness as a principle. Or tita datu means a principle. Tita means remaining. So the remaining principle throughout our life. That's the dependent origination. Or dhammata, state of being principle. It's not that peculiar, but we have a very interesting two synonyms as well. Ida paccayata, state of being conditioned by that. So in India, the total independence can only achieved by the God. All the human beings conditioned by certain kind of cause and condition. We never be alone. Sabha or something like that. So human condition is a state of being dependent on others. So if we become free from all those conditions, we become enlightened, we become free from the all causation, something like that. So, but in normal cases, we are under the condition. And the paticca samutpanna dhamma, the things in the world usually occur according to the dependently originated nature, something like that. So those are the synonyms. And also this dependent origination has got two ways of explanation. One is anuloma, the other is patilloma. Anuloma means natural order, and patilloma, reverse order. So according to the anuloma, a bit complicated, but this is the principle of a Buddhist usually talking, because of the ignorance in our past, avijja. We did lots of action, sankhara. Because of lots of action we committed in the past, there is a vijnana, it's a new existence, something like that. So it actually explains this natural order, how we are ended up with miserable creatures, with soka, parideva, dukkha, domanassa, and upayasa, something like that. Explain that. And patilloma is reverse order. So when our ignorance in the past disappear, our long action in the past disappear. Our long action in the past disappear. Our new life will be disappear. And so that all kind of sad, kind of a condition now we are now in will disappear. So that's the reverse order according to the Buddhism. So this is one way to explain dependent origination. But the Buddha used a principle in many parts of the Buddhist text. And it looks as if he is talking the same sentence twice. Imasmin sati idam hoti, imassa upada idam upajati. Imasmin asati idam na hoti, imassa nirodha idam nirujati. We have a Chinese translation as well. Chayu, Piyu, Chaseng, Piseng, and so on. Usually, this sentence occurs as a kind of principle of the dependent origination. If I translate it, imasmin sati idamoti, imassa upada idam upajati. When there is A and there is B, that's the first one. And second one, from the origin of A, B arises. That's the second one. Reverse order, imasmin asati idam nahoti, imassa nirodha idam nirujati. When there is no A, there is no B. From the cessation of A, B ceases. So somehow you can see here, Buddhists repeat the same thing again, right? Anybody recognize any difference between the two? What could be the difference? We Buddhists put very, very high value on the difference between the two. Anyone? Okay. Because the first one is a synchronic causation. It's logical. It's kind of interdependence, mutually dependence each other, kind of contextual aspect of causal relationship. And second one is linear, diachronic causation, and the change aspect is very important in the second one. So the synchronic one is a contextual, and the relationship of mutually dependent each other. So here, in the grammatically, you may know the Latin, or maybe I don't know, but the Germans also have got this one. Imasmin and sati is a locative absolutive. Locative absolutive, usually we translate it as a while or when there is something and something occur. So it's a kind of alternative condition, not a kind of a condition causing different one occur. In the Patinoma, reverse order as well. Imasmin asati. A is a negation from sant. That's the present participle. So it becomes locative. So this one also kind of when there is no A, there is no B, or something like that. So in Chinese, the human being, the Chinese character in, like this. And according to the Chinese explanation, in means two people depend on each other. So humans were inborn nature to work together, live together, something like that. So last night I made an experiment, using two boxes, two boxes. When they depend on each other, they can stay like that. But if one box, collapses, the other one collapses. Another one collapses, the other one collapses. That's the relationship in the first, synchronical causation. Actually, talk about it. And Buddhists put really, really high value on this kind of relationship. The second one, the changing aspect. It's a dynamic and kind of a thing occur in the world according to physics. All occur according to this second one. Imasa upada, idam upajati. Imasa nirodha, idam nirujati. Imasa is a single genitive. Upada is long A means ablative. From the occurring of A, B occurs. From the cessation of A, B cease, something like that. So this is a dynamic one. So I usually think of a billboard, when hit the ball and another one going. So this is a kind of a rule we usually use in the natural world, right? When I checked Buddhist Abhidharma, Buddhist Abhidharma means Buddhists are looking at Buddhist theory very carefully. They classify 6 causes, 4 conditions, and 5 reasons. It's very, very complicated concept. I'm not going to explain to you. But when we check all 6 causes and 4 conditions, diachronical causation is only one. Samantara pratiyaya. Immediately proceeding condition. That's it. Just one. Among the 10 causes, 10 causes and conditions, just one is diachronical. And all the other is a synchronical causation. So this become hugely important, and the Buddhists are looking at. So when Buddhism moved to China, in Huayan tradition, this mutually relating to each other. The causation become the key to explain the world we are living in. So Avatamsaka or Hawaiian school talk about Indrajala, which means Indra's net, is considered as having a multi-paced jewel at each vertex, with each jewel being reflected in all of other jewels. So the image of Indranet is used to describe interconnectedness or perfect interfusion of all phenomena in the world, in the universe, in East Asian Mahayana Buddhism. So you can do it in the elevator, take a photo of reflection, then you are just the one, but in that mirror reflection you have endless number of you. You can actually make it. And this lady did better. Endless number of lady just going down there. Or some modern artists made a mirror room where you can reduplicate, you and yourself in endless numbers like this. You can actually do it. And actually, this one was done by one of the master, Chinese Buddhist master called the Pajang, who was living in 632 712. Pajang was very famous for Avatamsaka or Hawaiian and Tiantai tradition as well. One of the masters, and the Chinese emperor liked him a lot because Pajang not only famous for Buddhist master, he is also famous for conducting sacrifice for the raining. In China they do sacrifice until the rain is coming. So Pajang, when he was doing the rain immediately actually comes. So it was very, very famous. And the Pajang was a Hawaiian or Avatamsaka teacher. So he wanted to show the Buddha in multi-dimension to the emperor during that time. Wu Taizien, he would like to do it. So according to the text, Pajang was known for various similes, demonstrations, and metaphors he used to explain Hawaiian ideas, including Indra's net, through the whole of mirrors. So something like that. I checked the text. He used 10 mirrors, the Pajang, maybe one Buddha statue in the middle, and used 10 mirrors. And according to the direction we have an endless number of the Buddha. We can actually make it in this kind of mirror imaging. So Indranet, Hawaiian Sutra talk about is kind of a spider's net with a jewelry, in each of the string, and all those jewelries reflecting on each other. So in this small jewel, is reflecting all the other jewels. So just the one jewel has got all the other ones. All the other ones incited into just the one jewel in this system. So if you go to Chaoyang in China, Chaoyang is kind of a cultural center of Lao dynasty. That was around 1000 to year 1012 or something like that. Very, very powerful, nomadic people. Do you know the airline called the Cathay Pacific? The Cathay is actually, these Lao people. They use it, the skitai. So nomadic Khitan, we usually call it. But they are very, very peaceful Mahayana Buddhist. And if you go to Chaoyang, here, north of Beijing, here, west of Korean Peninsula, we have a huge, Ryo Dynasty pagoda. It's a huge pagoda. You can see the size of people over there. You can guess how big in this pagoda is actually. When you go there and watch it, it's very impressive. not only they build a pagoda, in China, it is very rare to have this kind of, how can I say, carvings in the base of the pagoda, especially built from the brick. But this one has got this brick, And this is the other side, maybe north side and western side. But in one side of two, in both sides of this carvings, we have a pagoda again. In that pagoda, you see the Buddha in the middle. That's the same as the Buddha in the big one, which means in this small pagoda also has got small pagoda in between the Buddhas. So if we think of this pagoda again and again and again and again, so it might be endless. It's infinity. They are going to show. Here, this concept, according to the Avatamsaka or Huayan, is 일즉다, 다즉 일, which means one is all and all is one. Very simple translation, expressing essential unity of all things. A tenet of Huayan and Tiantai school in East Asian Mahayana Buddhism, because there is just one temple, one pagoda. From the reflection, it becomes the whole. And all the different pagodas are actually just one. So, if I translate it according to Vedanta idea of Hinduism, unity in multiplicity, and the multiplicity in the unity. When we think about this one, unity inside there, multiplicity, because all other things reflecting each other. So whole universe actually reflecting into just one jewel. So unity in multiplicity, and multiplicity in unity as well. So this is the key idea to understand Avatamsaka, doctrine. And it became very important word for Indonesia. In Indonesia, it become Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, multiplicity in Eka, in unity, right? In unity. It become national motto, often translated as a unity in multiplicity. So this is the motto or symbol of Indonesia. You see here, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, multiplicity in unity, something like that. This is very important because Indonesian archipelago consists of 2,000 different islands. So many different people, ethnicity, they use different words. So when Indonesia become as one nation, they wonder how can we make a unity among those different peoples. So here comes the Pancasila, right? So Bhinneka Tunggal Ika actually made all Indonesian, even though our language, our culture, our dress, our appearance different, we are united under the name of Indonesia, under the one country, something like that. So official national motto of Indonesia is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. It means unity in diversity, which represents the principle of unity and integrity in Indonesia. Initially, this word first appeared during the time of Hayam Wuruk, one of the king in the Majapahit Empire. And I remember this part actually occurred during the fight between the Buddha and the Hindu god Shiva in Indonesian folk legend. During the time of Majapahit in Indonesia, it's very interesting country where half of the people believe Mahayana Buddhism, half of the people believe Hinduism. So they fight each other, which one is better, and they all fight. In that folklore, while the Buddha fighting with the Shiva and Shiva fighting with the Buddha, one wise man said, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. You look different, but you are actually the same. You don't have to fight each other. We are harmoniously live together. We don't have to fight each other. So that's around the 12th century in Indonesia. The spirit of diversity inspired Gajah Mada, and Gajah Mada is one of the best prime minister of Indonesia, who actually made Indonesia as a nation. The kind of area covered at the moment was actually outcome of the effort of this Gajah Mada. Samsul and our Indonesian colleague from Gajah Mada University. So, yeah, the Unite Indonesian Army President. Okay. So this concept become very important for Mahayana Buddhists in South Korea or Japan and China, because unity in multiplicity means all living beings living together presently. Every members are equal in all aspects. All can be built a harmonious home together, because we are not the same. We are united under many aspects. When Martin asked me to talk about ecology,